You know, it's almost like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. Back to the channel, it's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, it's time to talk about the AliExpress glitch matrix stuff. You know, I'm always making a joke out of it, but this is absolutely a serious problem. Something I have faced so many times when buying products. And I'm thinking, what is this guy talking about? Finding products on AliExpress can be like a freaking nightmare. Let me know in the comments if you have like some similar issues. And I mean, when you're searching a certain product, when you're getting something in the mail, it looks completely different, or it is something different. So I've bought myself the game box, and I realized I got two of them. But are they the same? That is of course the question of today. They come in different boxes. The first one that came in was this version, the game box, the 4K, you know, I'm not going to even say it anymore, I'm not going to bother. The thing is, like, it came in a completely different box than it was shown on the freaking page. So then we have like the professional game chip, like, you know, those text on boxes, absolutely hilarious. But the other thing is, like, so we had this thing, and later on, my other version came in. I'm all like, oh crap, did I seriously buy the same product, only on a different name? Because that is what happens. But let's take a close look in the inside. Ooh, there is nothing inside. No, just joking. Let's do a side-by-side comparison with the insides. Okay, so this one comes with some plastic fantastic, of course the game box itself and the controllers. But are we having any differences over here? Of course, same paperwork, stuff like that. So there is one or multiple factories making this same product. I'm guessing they will buy like the controllers from another factory and making a bundle. But let's talk about the controllers first. Is there any difference over here when it comes to the quality? So basically with version 1 and version 2, you don't feel any difference. So I'm guessing they basically like have the same kind of controller, or the manufacturer's just selling one kind of controller. They all smell chemical, they have the same kind of layout, everything is the same, there is no difference whatsoever, including when it comes to the chemical smell. So when you're looking at the casing, it's identical to each other, absolutely the same. So I just want to look at the bottom. Here we do get a minimal difference. We're going to get like basically two stickers on here and one over here. So when you're looking at the stickers, it will have the same voltage, 12 volt 1 amp, and this also have 12 volt 1 amp. But basically when you're looking basically like side by side and you're checking everything, it's absolutely the same. So the thing I wanted to do is just open them up. Alright, so let's do a quick teardown. I find it quite annoying that they, using a cheap case like this, like fully made out of plastic, and there are no screws. I am guessing that I need to use my prior tool, so let's get me one of those. And let's see if we can unbox this freaking thing. Oh man, this thing has some wear and tears, but let's see if we have some space somewhere. Yeah, see, that's always the question, like how can we open this up? We just do it like that. There is no screw attached, and when you're looking at the size of the case, you're thinking we're going to get a gigantic PCB in the inside, but it's just another Android box, of course. Alright, so let's get these two screws loose. And let's take a close look at what are we going to get in the inside. Oh, almost forgetting one over here. I really lost these AliExpress kits. I bought them like some time ago, a couple of them. Super easy. Alright, so let's see, I didn't miss out anyone. No. I can tell you, like, the board is getting really hot after using for a couple of hours. There's something that is basically not letting my freaking thing go. What is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, wow. Okay. So, yeah, so I don't know why they use this. Why do they want to transfer the heat from this PCB to the plastic? It is transferring something, but wow, it's absolutely hot, man. Like, this thing is like sticky and freaking hot as it can be. Oh man, what a mess, I can tell you that. Let's see if we can remove this over here. I always need to be very careful. Oh, there we go. Okay, so they just slapped this on here. So what a mess is this? Oh boy. Aha, so that explains, for example, the Sega Saturn situation. So I already can see it's like I removed it, but I basically removed it for nothing. And the reason why, because if we're going to remove this, I think we will see what kind of chip it is. Let's clean it up a little bit. Let's clean it up a little bit more. So here you can see indeed is that this is the S905L model. I don't know if you can see it on the camera because it's filthy and you need to have a kind of a reflection to see it. But the S905L is basically the chip they're using. There's an old school quad core. It's similar like the Super Console X. And to be honest, like when you're looking at the modified version with Sega Saturn, what I understand of normally it won't run on these kind of very weird old boards. That's kind of interesting, to be honest. So we do have like the storage chip over here, 2 RAM chips. So yeah, it's nothing really fancy, to be honest. Like when you're looking at this over here, especially when you're looking at the production date, you can see like this is the S905. It has been produced in a completely different year, 2016. So this thing is pretty damn old. So this is just a great way of reusing old technology. So it's better than throwing it away, of course, but I just wanted to say like this is what they're doing. This is the same stuff that we're seeing with the Super Console X, only a different name, different image, and the same yada yada. It also explains why a lot of problems like with PSP is still the same like with the Super Console X. Before I go to put it together, I just briefly want to talk about the cooling. So normally what you need to do is putting the cooling block on here. That basically gives like the best cooling solution for your CPU, GPU situation. But what they did is like slapping that on here and using this thing, the thermal paste, for basically transferring it to the plastic. Like, wow. Just wow. Alright, so let's open up the second box. Yeah, and basically what we're going to get is the same kind of shell. So let's get myself the prior tool and let's open it up. And we do have like a difference in the SD card, by the way. But okay, let's take a close look in the inside. Over here we do get a sticker, it says over here 905. So I am guessing this is the 905. And this is not your typical X3. And what I mean with the X3, for the people who don't know, like it's more like the more powerful version of the S905 series, and it has like a lot of stuff that we can play with it. Unfortunate if you have like a cheaper box, a cheaper chip, that sounds kind of funny, cheaper chip, you're going to get not a great performance. Okay, let's remove the micro SD card before I'm going to ruin it. And let's rip this thing out. Oh man, like it's kept in hold in place by a couple of these. Getting that out, so like the big question, how do I do this without destroying the freaking thing? There he is. Okay, so when it comes to the cooling, it's absolutely garbage. Like, there is not even like a cooling element on it, nothing at all. But I wonder, like, is this thing made brand new? It looks like this is like old technology, especially when you're looking at the Wi-Fi antenna. This is something I haven't seen before. I think I haven't seen it before when it comes like the newer models anymore. So yeah, so what it did is like having this gigantic thermal paste pad on it that connects to the plastic. Yeah, plastic will not cool down the chip. You know, like when it comes to this piece of crap, like these weird looking Android boxes sometimes, they mess it up big time. Let's see if we can remove it. Nope, absolutely no way to remove it. Very good, that doesn't even matter, you know, like... Oh boy. Alright, so let's clean it up. And let's see what we're going to get underneath, if we can even see it. Because there's so much scrap on this. It's not even funny anymore. But I need to figure out if I'm having like something like a passive cooling block in my storage that I can put on here, because I'm not going to boot it up as is. Alright, so I've cleaned it up, or so far I can do it. And there's still a little bit of a sticky up that I also need to remove, but I think it's very hard to read. But this is the S905L model. A little bit of a bummer because it's a very old chipset. Funny thing is also, when you're looking over here to the specification, you can see this board has been made in 2016. But okay, so I have these like tiny passive cooling elements laying around for Pi. Don't use them anymore, so let's basically use it on this box, so we at least have any little bit of cooling on the chips, because this is better than nothing. So that's basically what I needed to do with the second one. Okay, another difference that we're going to get is the AliExpress piece of software. This is basically why we're going to get the biggest difference. This thing runs on kind of a weird AliExpress modified version that is called Gamebox. So when booted up, this is what we're going to get when it comes to the menu, or with this game box. So what I think is pretty damn cool with these game boxes, we have so much cool stuff that we can play. For the people just tuning in and stuff like this, basically with an ME-Alec and a basic Android device, you can play up to PlayStation 1 without any hassle. N64 will always be the problem, like a lot of stuff that will not run well or not at all. But because we have the same kind of main boards, the emulation performance will be exactly the same with both versions. But let's take a close look at the other software, because we do get some interesting things there. Okay, so let's boot up the second one, and what you're going to see over here, we do get the MU-Alec, that's basically what all of these TV boxes are running on. But we did get like a completely different menu. Okay, it's a theme, so it's not like that interesting maybe. But when you're looking at everything, like the language, like the theme, everything was completely different with this one. So what is quite interesting that we do have like the same kind of box, but we have like different stickers. The way how they assemble it is different box. And also when you're looking at the software, also here we're going to get differences. So it seems to be, when you're looking at them side by side, it's a glitch in the matrix, or better said, in the AliExpress matrix. But what we're going to get is basically two different boxes, but mainly it's going to be the software part.